Thank you very much for joining the final keynote session of today. My name's James Ski. I'm the CEO and founder of Sales Confidence. Our ambition is to build the world's most valuable B2B sales community. And like many of you, actually 5-6 years ago, I was sitting in the audience hoping one day I could be up on stage sharing my story. And I'm a big believer that anything is possible if you put your mind to it. But it's ultimately your responsibility to put your mind to it. No one else is going to create opportunities for you. No one else wants to see you do well. It is your responsibility. So the way I'm going to run with this keynote today, I'm a no slides guy. So there's going to be no presentation slides. I'm also going to make it reasonably interactive. There'll be no somersault slide because I'm a no somersaults guy. And I want you to have an experience where you can take away some practical tips for either yourself as individuals, which is where it starts, or for your business or team. Just to get a feel for the people in the audience, can you just put your hand up if you're an individual contributor? So you don't manage a team right now. So you're an individual. Okay, cool. Put your hand up if you are responsible for a team or a business. Okay, fantastic. Appreciate it. Okay, so what I'd like to do today is share with you how you can unlock your own individual confidence and also inspire other people around you to go to that next level, whatever that next level might be. So to begin with, I'm just going to share with you a little bit of a story about my journey to how I ended up here. Then I want to help you uncover some techniques that you can apply to yourself to unlock a greater level. And then I'm going to give you a framework that you can apply to lead any other type of team as a business owner, sales leader, or someone that you might be responsible for. I'm going to be sharing insights that are personal to my story, but I want to bring those to light because I believe if you are authentic and you tell your true story and you bring your full self, then you can inspire confidence in other people. So just a couple of kind of anecdotes. A few years ago when I was at university, I'm 36 now, this is probably when I was about 20, 21. For my sins, I used to organize parties. And I used to be the guy that used to draw in crowds on the nights to try and get them to come to my club nights. And part of that was giving out flyers. Facebook had just come out at the time. So I thought, this is going to be fantastic. I'm going to earn some cash on the side. I'm going to have fantastic club nights. I'm going to be very popular. This is going to be great for my street cred. So I organized and arranged with a venue in Oxford. I went to Oxford Brookes, not uni, if you were wondering. Brookes is the small college down the road. It's not the big Oxford University one you hear about. And in the build-up to this club night, I had literally hundreds of people signed up to my night. Hundreds. And we were like a 300 capacity nightclub, and we had like 750 people on the guest list. So I thought we were in for an awesome night. 9 o'clock comes up, and I'm standing outside the door, and literally 10 people are queued outside the club. So I start to freak out. I'm not sure what to do in this situation. Nobody has arrived at my nightclub. So I come up with this brainwave. I'm like, I need to get everyone's attention because I looked down the main strip and there were hundreds of people that said they were coming to my night queuing up at the other clubs. So I ran and got my car. At the time, it was like a small Vauxhall Corsa, 4-door. I got in the car, turned my Mega Blaster up, wound down my windows, sped down the main street in Oxford, did a 360-degree turn in my car, climbed out of the car, got on top of the car, took my clothes off. Reacting like some of you right now, right? In bewilderment. So I'm on top of my car screaming at thousands of students to come to my nightclub. Some bugger stole my keys. So someone took my keys, I'm on top of the car, waving at people to come to my nightclub. Got some attention, eventually my keys arrived, I got back in the car, got pulled over by the police, and the police were like, what's going on? And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to get people to my nightclub. And they're like, yeah, well, you can't do that. You've just caused a massive scene. And I'm like, look, I'm just trying to get people to my nightclub. And they're like, have you taken anything? I said, no, I've not taken any drugs, no alcohol. Anyway, 2 days later, I ended up in a mental health hospital. So there I was, high as a kite, thinking that I was Jack the Lad running this nightclub, no one turned up to, and then 2 days later, I was admitted to a mental health hospital for the first time. So I'm diagnosed with bipolar, which is a mood disorder, where I experience high highs and low lows. And I've been in 7 different mental health hospitals. I've actually spent 200 nights over the last 10 years inside mental health hospitals, and I can tell you now, it's the most humbling experience you can ever go through. Because you connect with people that have absolutely nothing. They're on their last legs, they've lost all hope. Now, the reason I start with this story is because that helped me to find out my why. What is important to me? Now, my story is quite extreme, but every single one of you has a personal story. Why have you come here today? What are you trying to achieve? What's the next level that you want to take in your life or your career or your business? You have to figure out what is your why for existence. And that can take people a long, long time. And it requires effort and it requires self-awareness. But if you believe that you are going to lead and inspire other people, you have to understand your personal why and how you're going to inspire yourself. Because the reality is, when I spent time in those hospitals, and I have thousands of connections. Sales Confidence as a business has been running for 5 years. We have thousands of people that come to our events. I've got 35,000 connections on LinkedIn. Do you know how many people called me? 4, 5. Very few people actually care about you. That's the reality. So therefore, you have to care for yourself. You have to back yourself as an individual to understand what you want to achieve. No one else is going to do it for you. So that's my first message to you, to really think about who you are, what's important to you as an individual, and where you want to go. Because once you do that, you can start to unlock your own confidence. And once you start to understand how to inspire yourself, you can start to level up extremely quickly. And you can be very effective in how you perform as an individual. Forget where you are right now, where you've been. It's all about how you're going to move forward, especially into the start of 2024. And it starts now. So this is a great opportunity for us to connect and share and understand how we might be able to do that. So I would like to do a little bit of an exercise that I believe can be helpful for you to think about the future that you want to create for yourself. So what I'm going to ask you to do in a moment, not yet, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, right? And we're going to imagine a place in time in the future that is about 5 years from now. And that place can be anywhere. All right, so just go with me for a moment. Close your eyes, don't be shy. Take yourself to a spot 5 years from now, and literally there is no limit on that spot. You can decide what part of the world you are in. Maybe it's a dream destination. Maybe it's your favorite place. Maybe it's a place you've just seen on TV or seen on a movie you've read about or heard. Can I just get a yes? Are you somewhere? Okay. I'm going to do that again so it's a bit louder. Can I get a yes? Okay. Right. So now in that place, 5 years from now, wherever that is in the world, start to just like make it come to life a little bit. And like add some color, add some sounds. Maybe it's family, maybe it's a partner, a wife, boyfriend, whatever. Maybe you're there right now and you are experiencing this place for the first time and it feels incredible. And if it's not feeling incredible, change the place, change the person you're with. Start to add and feel the energy as if you are right there, right now. Get excited about it. Like, feel your heart racing now while you are excited about that place 5 years from now. And now I'm going to add something. Just by your feet, there is a case, right? And it's a silver case. This case, though, can be as big as you want it to be. Now, before you open that case, I want you to decide how much cash is in that case. I can see some smiles. All right. So you should now be in that place somewhere in the world, and you've got this case, and it's full of cash. Whatever that number is, it should be a number. So decide whatever that number is, if you've got it, and times it by 10. So there should be cash absolutely everywhere. You could be swimming in it. I don't care what you're doing with it. Just times it by 10. All right, stay with that for a moment. Open your eyes. How did that feel? All right? Now, the exercise is simple. Some of you, in your minds, would have put a tiny little bit of cash in your case. Right? And that's because that's a value you believe that you have access to right now. And the first exercise is, how do you 10x your ambition and vision? Because if you just think linearly, which means I'm going to 1x or 2x next year, it doesn't energize you. It doesn't excite you enough. And that experience, that's not just about money, by the way. It's just about how you want to feel about yourself. And maybe some of you struggled with that exercise. Maybe it's difficult to connect. And that's a question to ask yourself. As I said at the beginning of this talk, it is your responsibility to decide what your future is. But right now, we're living just through the talk you've had as a child, or your parents, or the media. It's like we're just restricted in these boxes. Why can't you be anywhere in the world doing what you want to do, earning the amount of money that you want to earn? It's completely your responsibility. So for me, like, I love to imagine the possible. No one's going to see it or hear it. I don't have to tell anyone about it. But also, no one's going to help me with that. So your ability to imagine your future is all about the possibility. Now, of course, dreaming, visualization is all fantastic. But if you don't act on it, it's immaterial. You're not going to make any progress in your career, in your business, or in your life. Everything you need, though, is already in you. You know, you've even come to this event. Some of you are running around like, I need to meet this person. I need to go listen to James Ski. I need this to go and like give me a kick up the arse. It's actually already in you. And you know, part of what I want to do is to get you to wake up and just spark something. So if nothing else you get from today, you just think, you know what? Maybe there's a few takeaways for me to go and push on to the next mile. So the next thing I'd like you to do to create a bit of energy is I just want you to put your hands together. Don't worry, it's not a cult. And I just want you to rub your hands together as hard as you can. Keep rubbing until it's too hot for you to continue rubbing your hands. Can you feel the heat? Yeah? Put that on your face. Oh, feels good, right? It's warm. Where's that energy come from? It's come from you. It's literally, you just created that. It's that simple. You have all the tools and resources to get to the next level. But there's loads of self-talk, and there's other people that you've surrounded yourself that are holding you back from getting to that next level. And you know, I wish people said that to me. So many people said to me when I was in hospital, James, don't go and be a salesperson. Too stressful. Don't run a business, too stressful. Don't have a family even. You know, fortunately I've got 3 kids now, but I was just given like all this pushback, all the reasons why I should not do something. And it held me back for years, and it winds me up. So my why for creating sales confidence is because I want to inspire confidence in everyone. Now, we just happen to do that for salespeople today. And yes, we are building an incredibly valuable business doing that for salespeople. But to be honest, I want to just help anyone that needs to unlock that confidence to get to that next level and be able to do that for yourself or support your family or support your kids. So, what's the framework? If you've understood now your why, thinking about the future, visualization on what's possible, you realize that you've got the energy to do it yourself, how can you start thinking about how you can inspire other people around you to maybe join you? Or maybe you need to inspire people to act, go to the next level, drive success in your team. So there's 5 things that I'm going to give you to take away. So the number 1 is how do you paint a clear picture of the future that you would like them to contribute and create with you? And that's all about the story you're telling. It's not just about the target. That's not really a motivator. We need you to hit this revenue goal, this sales target. It's not enough. You have to take people on a journey. And what's the story of the impact of them joining you to go forwards? How are you going to create change in their life? How is their CV going to look by spending time in your business with you for the next year, 2 years, 3 years? And how do you paint a picture of what that future would look like? So that's the first, vision and story. Second is you've got to invest in them. You've got to invest in yourself, right? I find it, I don't know if it's a UK thing and, the class system, and we've got the NHS, we've got good schools, we expect everyone to do everything for us. But there's other cultures out there, it's like they've got nothing. You've literally got to invest in yourself and invest in your people. So what are you doing for them around development, training, upskilling them to take them to the next level? And how do they appreciate what you're doing so that they are inspired to do more for you and follow on that journey and that story that you're taking them on? The third thing, and I'm a big believer in this, if you think of your favorite sports team, just shout out some teams. Who's got a sports team? Yeah, Leeds, who else? Arsenal, who else? Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U. All right, okay, this is all a sports team. Now, when you think of a high-performing sports team, what do they all have? Coaches. For everything. Nutrition, physio coach, football coach, mindset coach. How many of you have a coach? How many of you have more than one coach? How many of you have a team of people that you're invested in just to make you better? Right? Those of you that are employees, that work for people, there's this kind of mindset that, unless my company does it, I'm not really going to bother. Jesus. Even if you are an employee and that's what you choose to do, wake up. Just honestly, find people that can help you. And yeah, maybe get your company to pay for it, even better. Not saying don't do that, but actually find yourself a team of coaches that can take you to that next level. Because this is the reality. Everything you want to do has been done before. We're not that unique. There's something like 7-8 billion people on the planet. Whatever you want to do, earn £1 million, earn £100,000, get promoted to a sales leader, be a CEO, be a fucking TikTok star. It's been done 1 million times. So just go and find the people that have done it, listen to their advice, follow the pathway, go make it happen. So find a coach and give your team coaches. And then what you can coach individuals with is some of the things that we've talked today. So a good framework to sit them down with. And we've covered this already, and this is kind of why I'm reiterating it. What's their vision? Help them with their vision. Help them understand their why. We've talked about that, right? If you can understand yours, you'll be able to help them understand why are they here, what journey they're on, how are they going to get to the next level. And then affirm it, meaning repeat it, actually reminds them what they've said. so many like annual reviews happen. You've all been there. You've had a conversation with your manager. It's like, what do you want to achieve next year? And you're like, oh, I want to do this, this, and that. And then it's like, cool, let's check in a year later. It's just not going to get you anywhere. Like, you need to reaffirm for yourself and your team where you want to get to and how you're going to get there, and remind them consistently and constantly. And then get practical. Break down those goals. How many of you right now, put your hand up, be honest, have set your 2024 goals? Okay, a handful of you, right? The reality is we may have achieved some of our goals this year. We may not. Maybe you didn't even set any goals this year. Maybe it's just another year on the beat. You're just ticking over. Maybe that's all you want to do. And if you're content with that, that's cool as well. Find your contentment. That's important. But if you're also like, you know what? 24 is a new year, 2024. How can I get to that next stage in my career? Or how can I help other people get to their next stage? I'm going to start committing to figuring out that now and not wait till the 1st of January to sit down and map it all out. So do that with your team now. And then the fifth thing, and I'll summarize this, find accountability partners. So who can you work with? Maybe they're in the same company, maybe they're not. Maybe there's someone like you. Maybe it's someone sitting around here. Maybe it's someone that's out there in the event. Someone that's going to help hold you account to what you've actually committed to. So you can be reminded of the goals that you have set for yourself and where you want to go. And it's that accountability, it's that mix, it's the kind of structure that you put around yourself and your team that allows you to do that. So in summary, how you can inspire your team: understand the vision and create a clear story that they buy into. Number 2, invest in them. Invest in them, in their development, invest in yourself on upskilling yourself. Think about who you are going to get to coach you in 2024. Right? There's something you could all do quite easily. You'd all know if I asked you to do it. If you went through your bank statement of November, Domino's Pizza, tickets to Arsenal, night out, Five Guys, Puck Shack, blah, 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 this shit, that shit, right? Like, there's a lot in there that you could divert to yourself and your own development. And it's going to reward you so much more than that extra Nando's or Five Guys or whatever it is you're into. And do the same for your team. And then the framework for your team is set the vision, understand the why, work on the affirmations, and get clear with their goals. And then the fifth area is accountability for yourself and the people around you. So to tie this back to how I started the conversation, is being a human is actually a very lonely place. You arrive by yourself and you leave, right? And we interact with all these people throughout our life. But a lot of the time we don't do enough reflecting with ourselves because we avoid the conversation with our own voices because we're put off by it, or we're scared by it, or we're worried about what we're hearing. And like, that voice in your head can be your best friend if you decide that you want to befriend the voice. And, it's difficult. And I can speak from experience, when I've been in these mental health hospitals, and you're literally, in a cell-type environment, they're very sterile, and you're just by yourself. You've got no friends, no family around you. It's very kind of reflective in yourself. And honestly, you just go to places you wouldn't believe. And I don't really know how to, and I wouldn't recommend recreating that experience. But sometimes you just honestly have to give yourself time to reflect on who you are as an individual and where you are right now. Because we're pulled from pillar to post, partners, children, staff, employees, employers, create that time, but be proactive to really reflect and think about who you are as an individual, so you can really understand yourself and understand your why. All right, so we're coming up on time. If I had to kind of give you like a few takeaways from our conversation, it is understand your why. Think about the vision that you have for yourself, and it can be anything. Design it, dream it, add color to it. Understand that you have all the power and the energy. It's already in you to take advantage and go to the next level. Think about that framework for your team and how you can support team, because the more people you inspire, the more you inspire yourself as well. And finally, and this is of course very important, if you're still here at 5 o'clock, at the Fox, we're having drinks and food. But that is my talk. Thank you for listening. Appreciate you. Have a good day.